Ugh. I wanted to start out with this with a maybe a mini apology for our Canadian friends because I know I haven't been featuring a ton of Canadian tap handles, and also on top of this is Molson Tap, so I don't know if that's exciting if you're a Canadian tap handle collector or not. But, anyways, I did want to say there's some great Canadian tap handle collectors out there. There's also some really amazing tap handles from Canadian breweries and stuff like that. And I will get around to featuring some more of them at some point. And also, on top of that, I know that for a lot of Canadian collectors is a little bit tricky or a little bit of a bummer just because the shipping between the US and Canada can be kind of rough. I'm sure it's the same thing for people there internationally, but I wanted to start out by saying that. So, apologies that I haven't featured more Canadian taps. I'll try and feature more. This particular one is a vintage Molson Light tap handle. I don't know about the design or the shape. I know that this style shape is used by a I think that I've seen it with other Molson taps in the past, so I don't know if it's iconic of something. You'll notice, let me see there, if it looks like that M there is a similar-ish type shape, and I'm not sure if it's specifically supposed to be what is that? Hexagon? I should know my shapes. Why don't I know my shapes? So, anyways, Molson Light, say fairly solid tap handle. There's a couple of things to note about it. First of all, one thing that's actually kind of interesting here that maybe is more interesting to me than a lot of other collectors is that with a lot of the Lucite ones, you've got the flat back and then you've got angled on the front, and then you've got this little insert here. A lot of times that will be lined up so that it's angled with the back, so it's kind of like flat there. You'll notice that this one is angled with the front, so it's designed so that it's in line with this angle. So just interesting to note. With this logo, you will notice that you do have a little bit of that kind of shiny reflective stuff that they absolutely love for these types of taps. It's good that this is consistent with that. And then if we look on the back and the front, that is the same. And you'll see that it says Molson Light and beer in the tiny little letters. And as I mentioned, you do have this little logo up here. And let's see what it says. It says since 1786 up there. And I don't know the details of the Molson logo. If anybody does know, let me know. I'd love to share that with the rest of the folks. Another thing that's notable about this one is you'll notice that this one is a lucite or resin tap. This is the threading right here. This is the standard 3/8/16 threading. But one of the things to note with this one is this is just threaded directly into the lucite, directly into the tap. By comparison, there's some other taps like this Budweiser one. You'll see that you've got a metal insert that actually goes in there. Um, and so it's, yeah, that's metal insert. Maybe you can see it better on, yeah, you can see it better on a tap like that, where you've got that brass insert on there. But with this Molson one, any of the items, so that means that if you're putting it onto a tap or if you're using it with a bottle opener adapter, see if we can do that safely, that will just thread right in like that. So just worth noting with these particular taps for this Molson one. So it's not necessarily true for all of them, but for this one it is the case that it just threads directly into the lucite there. So if you're looking at it and you don't see a brass one like brass insert like I tend to call out, it is totally fine, totally normal. Also, another thing too is this is a fairly solid size, so it's not too small of a tap handle, not a gigantic one. With Molson, they do have some really big ceramic ones, and a few other ones that are very, very notable. A little bit large, a little bit kind of almost oversized. But this vintage one, is just a good solid size there.